I'm Jeremy Kinney, Military Aviation Curator at the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum, and we're here in the World War II Aviation Gallery. Behind me is a Supermarine Spitfire, which is a legendary aircraft in the history of aviation. It was during the early days of World War II that the Spitfire and the men of the Royal Air Force that flew them became the iconic symbol of Great Britain's resilience against Nazi Germany. It was in May 1940 when Spitfires went into combat during Operation Dynamo, the Allied evacuation of troops from the northern coast of France, which is the story of the film Dunkirk. At the recent premiere of the film, I spoke with writer and director Christopher Nolan and producer Emma Thomas about the pivotal role of the Spitfire in the film. How do you see the role of the Spitfire in our culture? In terms of what is it's an iconic symbol. So
it's an iconic symbol. There's a very good case for it being the greatest machine ever made. Certainly a moving machine. It's a classic vehicle, a classic of design, and it's one of those machines which doesn't date or age in some way because the proportions and the balance between form and function is weirdly perfect. And as a symbol for British people, it's really seen as something that saved our culture. So there's a huge sense of attachment to that vehicle. And I actually got to fly in one in pre-production as we're putting this film together, and you just have a smile on your face when the engine starts up, and that smile lasts all the way until you get back down on the ground.
And with the film being shown here, you have this, our stories that we tell here at the museum, but what is it that you hope that people who will come here to watch the film will take away? What's the experience you're hoping that they'll have?
I think that the main thing that we're hoping is for audiences to really get a sense of what the characters what the people who actually went through this evacuation felt as they experienced these events in 1940. We want to put people on the beach with the young men who were waiting to be rescued, and we'd like them to have some insight into what that would have been like.
For me, the film provided a sense of what it was like for the Royal Air Force to fight at Dunkirk, and watching in IMAX puts you in the thick of the action. 75% of the movie was filmed in IMAX, and the National Air and Space Museum is one of the few places you can see Dunkirk in the format and the way that the filmmakers intended. You can see Dunkirk at the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C., or at the Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center at Chantilly, Virginia.